He is not trolling the Canadians. He's certainly not trolling your prime minister, who he refers to as your governor.
So the part that I think a lot of Canadians wouldn't get, and first off, people will be angry, and there's a very emotional response, and Donald Trump, by talking about the 51st state and the tariff issues, may actually help reelect Trudeau's Liberal Party with Mark Carney as the new leader. But the part that a lot of Canadians would be scratching their heads at and saying, well, that doesn't make any sense. There's no aggressive war with China. There's nothing with Russia. We don't have to be worried. We're past the point of needing to be worried about defense, is the view of a lot of people.
The view of anybody that thinks that is sound asleep. And let me wake them up. Number one, let's go back to World War II, of which, remember, Canada has shed more blood per capita than probably any democracy in the West in pursuit of freedom. Okay? The bravery and courage of the Canadian people can't be questioned. It's unbelievable what you guys have done. But I think now you got to think about, what was that all for? If you go back to World War II, if we're looking at the same place like in 1939 after the invasion of Poland, when the war really actually kind of got going, not the preamble to it, which was a long lead up. There were not that many casualties even through the fall of France. Look what's happened in Ukraine in 3 years, and we've been adamantly opposed to any involvement in Ukraine. It was ridiculous. As President Trump reiterated today, 1.5 million people have either been slaughtered or wounded in this war. 1 million Ukrainians and 500, 750,000 Russian troops. Ukraine looks like Kiev. If you look at the carnage that's gone on, you throw in the Middle East, it's far greater than the early years of the Second World War, and we saw how that ended. If you also look at the Chinese Communist Party, unrestricted warfare, the Chinese Communist Party has been at war with the United States since May of 1989. Xi said it, the People's War. They're doing it through cyber. They're doing it through political warfare. They're doing it through information warfare. They're doing
political interference in Canada.
Canada, you guys are much far. Look, as badly as we're infiltrated, Canada's actually worse. And Trudeau's exacerbated this. This is something the Canadian people got to wake up to. You're losing your sovereignty as you speak. That's why your crisis on your northern border. The irony in Canada, given everything through valor of arms and courage that you've defended, now what was always strategically your greatest, the thing you had greatest, which was your northern border and kind of the Arctic, now becomes your greatest exposure to actual losing territorial integrity and sovereignty, the Chinese Communist Party, which has already infiltrated Canada. Look at Huawei. Look at all the situations in Canada. They're at war just because, remember, in Chinese Communist Party doctrine, if they have to start like Sun Tzu, if they have to start shooting, they think the kinetic part, which has already started in Europe and Ukraine, the kinetic part of the war is where they don't want to take on the foreign devils, right? Because the foreign devils know how to man up and know how to fight. What they want to do is unrestricted warfare, is defeat the West even before any guns are fired. And they're quite far advanced in the United States, and I would argue they're farther advanced in Canada. So people sit there and go, well, we're not really at war. That's like people in Europe in 1930, in the summer of 1939, sitting there going, we're actually not at war. It's a beautiful summer here. And the clouds of war were all over them. They just couldn't see over the horizon.